Greetings, my name is Stevie P. I'm going to show you a guide on how to beat this guy. That is the Subterranean Menace. You come across in chapter 14 in Search of Hope. It's one of the quests that you get. This is a very physical fight. I have seen a guide that you can target him when he's vulnerable to magic at one particular point after a certain stage in the fight. But actually, I find that if you just stick to using physical attacks throughout, that I find is the quickest way of bringing him down. I could be wrong, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So basically with this, the main thing that you want is healing with Magnify. I've got a level 4 healing so that you can use Curaga on everybody. And then I also use Barrett's Lifesaver ability just so that he can basically act as the tank. Tifa, it doesn't really matter that she's got elemental associated with ice. This enemy isn't particularly vulnerable to any kind of magic that I'm aware of, but I have got her with first strike so that she can build up chi at the beginning of the battle, and then there's nothing else really worth kind of mentioning in terms of the materia setup. What I will say is I've got Metal Knuckles on Tifa because that's the one that dishes out the most punishment in terms of physical attack. Which is very useful in this fight. You want to equip them with the weapons, particularly Cloud and Tifa, with weapons that just max out on how much physical damage you're doing, because it is a very physical fight the way I play this fight. So I'm just going to jump straight into the battle and start off by using Unbridled Strength to build up chi with Tifa, and then with Cloud I'm going to run alongside him and try and look at who he's looking at. Right, so he's not looking at Cloud, and throughout this fight, you want to be either Tifa or Cloud, whichever one he is not looking at, basically. That's your goal. And then, as you can see, he is constituted of 3 parts: lower, upper, body, and horns. These horns you want to break. If you cast a magic spell on him, whilst these horns are intact, he will counter with a powerful counterattack, so you basically can't use magic as long as his horns are up. Once his horns are broken, which I'll show you how to do, you can use magic, but I prefer not to, just because I quite like the strategy of dishing out physical punishment. And really your strategy here is to go for the upper or lower body. I prefer lower body because it's easier to hit. Once you remove the HP from the lower body, it'll cripple him, and then you need to destroy the upper body, and then that will stagger him, at which point you go for the horns. Now, basically, I'll look at Tifa flying in there. That's kind of cool, isn't it? And he's like calm. He's like, whatever, right? Anyway, so yeah, you want to go for lower body, then upper body, then horns. And what you want to do, you see, if she's just attacking, the AI is attacking the horns, that's no good because that's immune to physical attacks. You want to go for the lower body, then middle, then upper, and then horns. What you want to try to do is I like to try to get 2 ATB on Cloud for when the horns become available for attacking, which is basically when you've destroyed the lower and upper body. And he'll be staggered, and that's when you're going for the horns, and if you do enough damage, you'll destroy the horns. And you really want to have 2 ATB on Cloud so you can do Infinity's End. And you also want to have 2 Chi available on Tifa so that she can use Rise and Fall and Omnistrike, and that the combination of those 2, Infinity's End and Omnistrike and Rise and Fall, should destroy the horns. So you want to have that ready for when that part of the battle comes. But for now, we're going to start off by attacking. I'm going to put him in Punisher mode just so that he does a bit more damage and slash away at the lower body. I don't really mind getting hit by that particular attack, just because it's very difficult to avoid and I can take the damage in this fight. Now it looks as if he's going for Cloud, so I'm going to switch over to Tifa, run to the back, and start attacking from behind. I'm going to do an uppercut by pressing attack and hold, and that is just so that she can build up ATB, and then I'm going to use Unbridled Strength to put her into Chi level 3. Now it looks as if he's facing Tifa, so I'm going to switch over again to Cloud, put him in Punisher mode, and then start to attack the lower body. You can see that it doesn't take an awful lot to already start to do decent damage. Now, meanwhile, Tifa has been injured enough that we're looking in not such a good state. Barrett is our healer. He's going to heal her. So it's not a problem. We did start kind of already weakened. He does that attack, which is pretty much unavoidable, and I don't really mind him hitting us with that. He's now targeting Tifa, so I switch, Cloud, so I switch back over to Tifa. Now, just for swiftness, I use Overpower. That also enables her to finish off her string of attacks, which does a really decent amount of damage. If you actually add up the amount of damage that Overpower does, when she manages to finish off her string of attacks, it's more than Dive Kick, I think. So it's quite handy to do Overpower. Lower body is looking as if we're in a good position. It's nearly going to be gone. It looks as if, by the way that he's turning, that he is now facing or targeted Tifa, so I'm going to jump back over to Cloud, jump back in, go into Punisher mode just to dish out more damage and attack the lower body. We're doing really well. Soon enough, now he's going into Rampage. So when he goes into Rampage, he's going to be really powerful and resistant now to attacks as well. But it's not a problem if you've been really focusing on one of the parts of him, so the lower body I recommend, then you should be able to basically interrupt his Rampage mode by doing that. So you basically, you knock out one of the parts, either the lower or upper body, and that will stop his Rampage mode. It will interrupt his Rampage mode, which is really handy. So let's do a Cura on Cloud, and it's at this point that you want to be Tifa. You're going to go right in. Now, while his lower body is damaged, he can still do stuff to attack you with his upper body. That is why it's good to use Starshower, because while she's doing Starshower, she cannot be interrupted. Dive Kick or Overpower isn't powerful enough, and it can be interrupted, so Starshower is the way to go with Tifa when he's in this state to destroy the upper body. So I'm going to do that. Starshower. And then I'm going to jump back to Cloud. So it's looking really good. I did get hit there, but it's not the end of the world. Jump back to her and do another Starshower. That should basically finish off his upper body. Can't be oh! She wasn't quite hitting it, which is a bit unfortunate. Now he does this roll thing, which you have to kind of block. It's fine. Usually by this point, we will have finished off the upper body. I'm doing really badly in this particular fight, but it doesn't matter because we definitely got it now. You've got enough time with a number of Starshowers to basically, you'll see, stagger him. Okay, so now we're going to be, Cloud's going to run in. He's got 2 ATB available. He's going to do Infinity's End. Tifa then is going to do Rise and Fall and Omnistrike. And that is enough. Now we're going to get Barret. I think let's do a Curaga. Get them all nicely cured. This should be the last cure that we have to do. Now his horns are destroyed. So this is when you can start using magic. If he manages to bind one of them, so he does a move called Gore, and if he manages to bind someone on the floor, you can release them by using a magic attack on him. Hopefully it shouldn't even be necessary. Okay, now he's revitalized his upper and lower body, so now we go back to the strategy that we were using before, and just attack, attack, attack. Looks like he's going after Tifa, so I shall switch over to Cloud. Overcome. I'm not even sure what it does, to be fair. Don't really need to know. Now he's looking at Cloud, so you know that you need to switch over to Tifa. Does that swingy move. Now it looks as if he's looking at Tifa, so we switch back over to Cloud. Punisher mode. Now he's looking at Cloud, I think. Overcome, I think, is just a stomp on the ground. Not 100% sure. I tried to use Overpower, but he jumped out of the way. I'll use Overpower here. That will do enough to get him on his upper body. Now, hopefully this time, I'll be able to show you what it should look like. So he rolls. She's going to do Starshower. She's close enough that I think every single hit is going to hit him this time. Barret, in fact, now is a good time to just get over to Barret, get him to use Maximum Fury on the upper body. That will guarantee that we will now stagger him. So I'm going to just jump back over to Cloud. There you go. And this is the end of the fight, because we're going to use Infinity's End. Jump over to Tifa. Now that he's actually without horns, you can hit him anyway. You're not just targeting the front of him. So we're going to use Rise and Fall. And then Omnistrike, I mean, he's dead now. So at this stage, you need to make sure you've got enough health on them to survive this bit. So basically, it drops rocks all over the place, and I'm just parrying like crazy with Tifa. and that way, just avoid all the damage. Woo! There you go. Now, I haven't really found a way to win this fight without really having to use quite a bit of healing. So it might just be that I'm really gung-ho running in there just doing physical attacks because I find that's the funnest way to win this fight. Perhaps if you use magic a bit more from a distance after his horns have been destroyed, you can avoid taking as much damage as I do. But I still don't think we've used like an awful lot. I mean, I started this battle with 38 MP on Barret, so I've only used 22 MP with Barret, which I don't think is a terrible amount, really, for Cure. I mean, I've probably used more than that, but he's gained a couple of MP back during the course of the fight. So I think that's a really surefire way to win. You just absolutely go ham on his rear end, and then use Starshower on his upper body, and then you want to have Chi level 3 to use Rise and Fall and Omnistrike on his horns, and then you want Cloud to have 2 ATB to use Infinity's End, and with that you're basically gonna win. It's and even if he gets the chance to go into his rampage mode, hopefully by the time that he does, you've done enough damage that just a few more hits will cripple him and put him out of his rampage. So there you go. I hope that you found that helpful. Please do give me any feedback, and thank you very much for watching. All the best.